I want to welcome you inside the State Champs Sports Network studios as we get set to reveal the players who have been selected to this year's Michigan High School Football Coaches Association All-Star Team. State Champs and the MHSFCA have joined forces as we will live stream and call the game June 22nd at Saginaw Valley State University. Clawson head coach Jim Sparks is the Football All-Star Game Committee chairman, and he joins me now. Welcome.
Hey, Lauren, how are you?
All right, it's good. I'm glad that we got this going. We're now excited. We're about to reveal the teams. How long have you been a part of the Football All-Star Game, and what makes it special in your eyes?
Well, I was fortunate to coach in the game several years ago, and then I was voluntold that I would be the next All-Star Committee chair, and I've been doing it now six years. We've been 2 games against Ohio, which were spectacular. We beat them twice, and we don't play them anymore. But if they're out there watching, we'd welcome Ohio to step back up. We'd love to get back into something like that again. But in the meantime, our focus is on the East-West game. It's a 38th edition of it. It's spectacular. We'll have 70 of the state's, not just best players, but some of the best young men from across the state representing everything that's great about high school football.
Absolutely, and this is exclusive for you, the viewer. We'd love to get Indiana maybe involved in this
absolutely.
game.
We'll bring on all takers.
We have State Champs Indiana now going, so I think it would be nothing better than have that border war going on between the Hoosiers and the Wolverine State. So we'll see. That's for another day. Now, if it wasn't for the Coaches Association keeping this game alive, right? Because we've seen all-star games, for instance, in basketball, disappear. This is important, right? Not just for the kids, but for the state.
Absolutely. Our focus on the association really is just twofold. We want to promote everything that's great about the game of high school football, and we also want to promote the great student athletes that make up high school football here. So our All-Star Game is where it all just comes to a head. We showcase everything that's great about the game, give the kids one last experience, recognize some of the finest coaches, give them a real treat to coach these 2 teams, and we roll from there. It's been something that the kids always speak favorably about, and it's something as an association we look forward to hosting every year.
Right. And you're going to meet some coaches here in just a few moments. Just so we're clear, and if you didn't hear, this is a senior-only award, and were they nominated? Yeah,
we go through a couple different tiers of the process. Our goal is to get representation from across the state and recognize, kids from every corner and all classes and size. So when you look at our roster, you have Class A, Class B. Each team has a representative from 8-man football.
Yeah.
So it starts where the head coaches nominate players from their own teams that they feel worthy to be called an all-star. We have some online platform. We partner with the D-Zone to help us reach kids from across the state. We can take nominations on that platform as well. And then we open it up from there. So the coaching staffs that are selected by our regional directors, we have regions across state, 18 of them. We ask each of them to nominate a coach for the game. Our committee picks the coaching staff, and then that's one of the processes that I think the coaches, it's a chore, but I think when you look back, it's very exciting. It's almost like an NFL war room. The East and the West, the coaches get together, and they come up with the 35-man rosters.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it brings, different styles and opinions and philosophies, and then you see those coaches then working that into, kind of the skill set that they have in their athletes.
Absolutely.
So, it makes the game better. Now, we'll bring Jim back at the end of the show, but without any further ado, let's get into the team reveal. Let's start with the East squad. Okay, I've not seen these, so if I do butcher your name, please forgive me, but you've made the team regardless. Let's start with, at the wide receiver position, Hunter Neff from Chelsea. Another wide receiver, Ian Kennelly from Utica Eisenhower. The Z-back, which we're calling kind of a wide-out wide receiver, Drake Reed from Rochester. Kevin Jackson out of Walled Lake Western. Offensive tackle, Mahdi Hazimi from Fordson. At guard, Curtis Maxwell, Detroit King. At center, Joe Schnorger from Monroe. At guard, James Drain from Harper Woods. At offensive tackle, John Miller out of West Bloomfield. Now this is tailback, your senior TB, Andre Chenault from Chip Valley. The quarterbacks, Austin Brown from Madison Heights, Madison, no surprise. Quarterback from Trenton, Jay Solano. Out of Cass Tech on the offensive line, Alan Jones. Out of the H or Z, which is like halfback, right, or wide receiver position, it would be Imari O'Brien from Chandler Park. Another running back, Luke Hardwood from Grozeal. Another tailback, Chashawn Wilkes from Detroit Denby. Another in the backfield from Saline, Brendan Mundy. The punter, kicker, Josh Castillo from Wyandotte. And let's get through the defense. On the defensive end, Travis Miracle from Yale. Defensive tackle, John Damon Duncan from St. Clair Shores Lakeview. Defensive tackle, Dorian Wesley from Woodhaven. Defensive end from Southfield A&T, Devin Baldwin. A linebacker from Detroit Renaissance, Dakaria Washington. At linebacker, Jack Shreve from Millington. Another linebacker, Jacob Dobbs from De La Salle. Strong safety, Scott Rosati from Grosse Pointe South. At cornerback or defensive back, Josiah Lewis from Detroit Osborne. Another cornerback, Taj Chapman from Ypsilanti Lincoln. At free safety, DeMonte McCurdy from Birmingham Groves. At linebacker, and could play H-back as well in this game, an athlete from Detroit Western, Dayon Smith. Josh Winowich is a linebacker and running back out of Country Day. Defensive tackle, Victor Nelson from Detroit Central. Strong safety, Hunter James from Kingston. At defensive end, Maurice Hutchinson from Sterling Heights Parkway Christian. Kelly Matthews is a defensive back from River Rouge. And here's the coaching staff for the East squad. Michael Bailey out of Detroit Osborne. Marlon Baker out of Detroit Osborne. Sean is at Lamothe. You're going to have to help me with that. Sean Lamothe from Grozeal. The head coach is John Bodner from Grozeal. Aaron Seghetti out of Trenton. Bill Miller out of Trenton. Phil Short out of Woodhaven. And the first assistant, which is, I guess, the assistant head coach, Keith Chrisnagel from Woodhaven. Joining us now to talk about the Michigan East All-Stars is one of the coaches on that team, the aforementioned Keith Chrisnagel. He's the head coach at Woodhaven High School. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm glad you're here. That was a mouthful. We're going to get to the West team in just a bit, but have you coached an All-Star game in the past?
I have not. No.
You haven't. So who picked? We talked earlier with Jim. He says they kind of enlist you to
Correct.
do this. What was the attraction that made you want to be a part of it?
Well, I think it's an honor for the kids and the coaches. It's been around for 30-some years, and growing up in Michigan, you had people from your school and schools around you that played in it, and I think everybody wanted to play in it. And I think it's obviously I didn't play in it as a player, but it's an honor now to coach in it.
Not obviously, you could have, but it's awesome. And you've got 2 from 4 different staffs make up this coaching unit. So how do you guys decide responsibilities?
We kind of divided it up by where we play and the teams that we play, because we all came from different parts of our area, and we looked at the people that we knew, and we counted on the other coaches to find the kids in their area that they were familiar with that had the ability to play at this level.
And I'm sure, kind of just like anything, they see these rosters, they look and you see, one of the coaches be like, "Hey, I got DBs because I know I can coach this group up," or something.
That's right.
Yeah. So everybody's got experience. If you could talk about the selection process and what goes into it.
We had a list of names. I think in one list we had about 360 names, and then the list that we got from the D-Zone, had 700 some names. So we were going through that, and I think the nicest thing was as a coach, you spend a lot of time watching your film and the teams you're going to play. It was really nice to watch other kids throughout the state, to see the things that maybe schools that I haven't heard of, and the 8-man football, and there's some really great players out there in the state that we don't get a chance to see all the time. So it was a lot of fun to look at film and try to see some of these other teams and things that you normally don't do.
Yeah, it's great too because you're deep literally at every position.
Correct.
It's going to allow you to do a lot of things strategic-wise and really try some new things and some fun things on the football field with the athletes that you have. You've had a chance now to see them. Tell me a couple of the areas you feel good about depth and talent with this roster.
We've got a lot of players that are kind of like running back, linebacker type kids, that all fit in the same mold.
Iron Men.
Yeah, the prototypical linebacker, fullback, running back, the 5'11", 215, 20 kid, the high school player.
Tree trunk thighs,
And then we've got some speed. We've got some athletes at the corner and the athletic positions, the kick return, punt return. So it's, I think we've got a pretty good, well-rounded team.
Cool. How do you like your chances in this contest?
Well, the kids look great right now. Now we got to put them in the positions that are going to do best for the team with the offenses and the defenses that we're going to run. So.
And you've seen the West squad now, so.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it. Now,
okay.
Now we're going to sit down and break down film because we're going to get our little film exchange going, and we can see what Coach does and what we're going to do, and spend some time like we do in a normal week-to-week preparation for a game. And
yeah. Literally, these just have been announced, just decided. And we're just kind of here throwing it at it. And again, we're excited to be a part of it. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Now it is time to reveal the rosters for the West Football All-Stars. Okay, defensive back we start with Sequarius Ball out of Bridgeport. Linebacker Boone Bonama out of Zeeland East. And athletes, we can play anywhere. Marcus Cisco out of Byron Center. Linebacker, Micah Kretzinger from Jackson. Wide receiver, Trey Davis, Flint Hamady. Defensive back, Jordan Dent from Lowell. Running back, Sincere Dent from Muskegon Mona Shores. Defensive back, Artie Dutmers from Traverse City St. Francis. On the offensive line, Jonah Erickson from Rockford. Offensive line, Bruin French from Clare. At wide receiver, DeAndre Glass out of Battle Creek. At running back, Christian Gordon from Midland. From Montrose, the offensive lineman, Brandon Gross. At quarterback, Cannon Hall from Davison. On the offensive line, Jack Haverdink, Portage Northern. Also on the offensive line, Stuart Kettler from East Grand Rapids. Defensive lineman, Marshawn Nealon, Godwin Heights. Defensive lineman, Logan Krulik from Ishpeming. Defensive line, Jaden Mabin out of Matawan. At linebacker, Gaylord's James Miller. Offensive line, Isaac Miller from West Ottawa. At quarterback, Kyle Knott out of Jenison. Another athlete, Braden Ophoff, Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian. Defensive line, Anthony Pelton from Reed City. Tight end, Drew Peterson out of Maple City Glen Lake. Offensive line, Ty Potter from Hudsonville. Defensive lineman, I think it's Kabash Richards. It could be Kabash, but congratulations out of Lansing Catholic Central. You made the team. Linebacker Ryan Ringler from Cedar Springs. Another athlete, Tobin Schwaneke from Traverse City Central. Defensive back Jaden Thielen from Hazlitt. Defensive back Cortez Tolles out of Grand Blanc. Wide receiver Cody Turney, Grand Rapids Northview. Defensive lineman Mason Vredeveld from Allendale. At linebacker, Alivante Wallace from Muskegon. Defensive back Tyler Warren out of DeWitt. Running back Donovan Webb from Holland. Okay, the West coaching staff is as follows. Ben Burke from Allendale, he's the first assistant. Scott Daling from Allendale. Doug Haggart from Clare, Stephen Spranger from Clare, Andrew Pratley from Holland is the head coach, Bill Foster out of Holland, George Niemi from Ishpeming, and Jeff Olson also from Ishpeming round out the coaching staff. And joining us via satellite now from, I believe, State Prison is the head football coach for the West squad, a kid. He is the current head coach at Holland High School, Andrew Pratley. Coach, thank you for taking some time to be here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right. We appreciate it. The miracles of modern technology allow us to communicate this way. And again, if you guys notice what we did there with the West is we kind of just put all the offense and defense together, but all the names are there, and don't even pay attention to the positions because these kids are going to be all over the place. Do you have experience coaching these types of games?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to coach in a Grand Rapids area game last summer, which was a great experience to get those kids together. There's a bunch of talented young men that you can coach, and it's very different than the normal high school experience, but I'm really fortunate to be able to have done it, and super excited about this opportunity as well.
Yeah, so you have an opportunity to be with a variety of coaches you would normally never kind of strategize with. What is it like, that kind of that process and working together so closely for a common goal?
Yeah, it's been interesting, especially on the west side. We have coaches from the UP and middle of the state with Clare, so it's been more electronic, which is nice that we have that opportunity in this day and age. But it's really neat to be able to share ideas and concepts with other coaches and kind of pick each other's brains and ultimately take some of those things back to your own squads in the fall.
Tell me what you love about your team.
And I'll tell you what, it's a hard thing to decide, first of all, with only one kid from each school. That's really one thing that I don't think people understand is we're limited in that way. So there's a lot of great players, and having coaches decide which players, we had a little fight over which position coach could grab the guy from that school. So there's some great people out there. But, we've got a great squad. As an offensive guy, I'm really happy with what our defense looks like. I told the defensive staff, hey, we just have to score 3 points because you guys have such a great team on your side of the ball. So we're super excited to have all the kids that we're able to grab.
You touched on it, but kind of elaborate more. How difficult it really is to narrow down which guys make the team.
Yeah, it was almost an impossible task. There are so many talented kids, and we have obviously the bigger geographic region in the West squad. So, there's so many talented players, and again, with only one kid per team, there's a lot of great players out there that should certainly be able to play in this game, but we're limited to 35 kids, and I think it's just a testament to the great high school football in the state of Michigan.
Well, finally then, how excited are you for this opportunity?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was great to be able to watch that film breakdown, speaking with the staff on Sunday and developing this roster and watching so much huddle highlights. It's certainly exciting to be able to see what we can do with the squad of these kind of athletes.
So are we going to start just start it right here, and you're going to call it out that you guys are going to take care of business when it comes to the game?
I'm not much for predictions, but I do know that both teams have great talent and great coaches, and we're just excited to be a part of a great game. It's been a historic thing for the state of Michigan for a long time.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
So once again, the game takes place at Saginaw Valley State University, June 22nd. Jim Sparks is back with us. Talk about the perks for these kids playing in this game. It really is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and you guys really bring out all the stops.
Yeah, we do our best to try to raise the profile of the game and give them an experience that they'll look back on as something extra special. So, we partner with some great people, Top Cat Sales, John Wangler. We're going to get them some good Adidas gear and, top-of-the-line jerseys. We'll outfit them head to toe in gear for practice. Saginaw Valley, they have been nothing but gracious hosts the several years we've been there now. From the dorms to the food, to the practice facilities, to the interaction with Coach Collins, who were grateful to open the doors to us and allow our guys. Basically, they give us the run of the place for the entire 4 days we're there. And I can't express my gratitude to Saginaw Valley State for what they do for us and for the kids. And, the final perk is where we would like to look at it is, all these kids are slated to go play somewhere else after the game. But, they're going to build some relationships, some lifelong friendships, like Coach Pratley alluded to. You're going to have kids from the city of Detroit eating lunch with kids from the UP, kids from the Thumb, interacting with kids from Muskegon.
Sure.
And, thinking back to when I coached in the game, I still follow the kids on Twitter. I'll still get, private messages from them when my team does something well. And, that's the true perk of the game is you get to play high school football one last time.
Right.
You're going to make some friends. You're going to meet some exceptional coaches. We're going to roll out the red carpet for these guys. We're blessed to have state champs on board. We're going to stream this thing out. We're going to reach people near and far. Yes. It's going to be archived for them to look back on when they're old and gray.
Yes.
So as a committee chair, I couldn't be more thrilled to be involved with the game, and my mission is to just continue to raise the bar, and it's all for the kids.
Yeah.
And it's all for the good of our game.
Yeah, we're super excited. And again, this is kind of what the injustice is, if you want to call it that. Number one, you're going to look back and you're going to say, I say it, and almost anybody you talk to will say it, that high school football, when you played, it was the greatest experience of your life, whether you played at another level, even if you were at the pro level. There's just nothing about the high school football experience. You get one more chance to do it several months after you thought you played your last game. And not only that, we need coaches to nominate players, because again, if you don't see one of your players here, that's what has to happen in order for you to be considered for this team.
Absolutely. Like, our website, that's where we do the nominations, and we count on those coaches to nominate their players. And, Coach Chris Nangle, Coach Pratley, they'll attest to it. They're looking for, the most deserving players, the ones that, selfishly, they want to win the game, so they're looking for kids.
Sure.
And, they do their best to scour the state for these kids, but without the help of the coaches nominating, there's not much we can do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work with the great group we got. We got 70 of the best, and it's gonna be a great day, June 22nd.
No doubt. What's the timeline now for these players? What events will take place from now all the way to game time?
Well, after this podcast airs, and hopefully they're all watching now, and they're excited. If they see their name scroll across that screen or they hear you announce it, what we need them to do is check their emails. Like, keep their eye on the email, because they're going to be getting an official letter of acceptance. They're going to get a confirmation letter that they need to return back to us. And then the coaching staffs will be contacting them. The East and the West, they each get a practice together in April at a site to be determined.
Nice.
They'll get another one in May, same kind of thing. So we need to make sure that those kids are dialed in. Being on the team is an honor. Now they got to take advantage of it. And like I said, it all starts with, you saw your name, you heard Mr. Plant call you out. You got to get on the email and take care of business so we can get this thing rolling in the right direction.
And then it's a 4-day experience in June leading up to the games.
They'll report on the Wednesday, and they'll have 2 practices on Wednesday. They'll get after 3 days on Thursday. They'll have a walkthrough and a practice on Friday, and then Saturday we'll kick it off, and we'll see. The West broke a losing streak last year.
I was just gonna say,
so the East, we'll see what they got. See if they can come back, or if the West can keep it rolling.
How do people get tickets? They've just seen their grandson or somebody be named.
We'll have it available, like through our Twitter account. We'll have links on our webpage. Typically there's a discount. If you pre-buy them, it'll be cheaper than buying them at the gate. We would encourage you to do that.
Okay.
So, we'll drive the traffic through social media, and we'll direct you to our association website.
And what is that web address?
MHSFCA.com.
All right.
Okay.
All right. A lot of initials there, but you'll get it. And again, Google Michigan High School Football Coaches Association, it comes up. And again, we'll be just putting it all over social media and getting it out there. So thank you so much for watching State Champs. Again, we'll be broadcasting live. Sean Belizean and former Rochester Adams and Wayne State star Josh Winnell will be on the call, as well as other State Champs personalities. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to all of the 2019 Football All-Stars.